Okay, folks, it is time to ask that question. Stephen Curry is the only player to have a statue in the Hall of Fame while still playing. The dude is a unanimous MVP and he's unanimous Hall of Fame already. Still playing, not even close to being done. So we have to have that conversation. Come on, let's sit down. The debate has finally reached its peak, right? Is Stephen Curry the greatest point guard ever, or does Magic Johnson still own that throne? It's one of the most fascinating debates basketball has ever seen, because unlike Jordan versus LeBron, there is no overwhelming consensus anymore. Stephen Curry didn't just become an all-time great. Steph Curry changed the game of basketball forever. But Magic Johnson revolutionized an entire position before Steph ever picked up a basketball. And so today, we're ranking Steph Curry among every legendary point guard in NBA history. We'll compare resumes, we'll compare longevity, we'll compare championships, individual greatness, leadership, and perhaps most importantly, who actually changed the game more. And so, let's settle this. Now, the Mount Rushmore of point guards, baby. Let's go. When discussing the greatest point guards ever, there are really 6 names that dominate every conversation, right? You have the Magic Johnson, you have the Stephen Curry, you have the Oscar Robertson, Isiah Thomas, John Stockton, and one Chris Paul. Steve Nash and Jason Kidd do deserve their honorable mentions, but most modern rankings place Curry and Magic at the very top, with Oscar Robertson usually coming and completing the third. And so number 6, Chris Paul, Rajon Rondo. Chris Paul may be the purest floor general of the modern era, right? He controls the pace, the decision making, the mid-range scoring, the leadership. It's all elite, but I hate to say it, but championships matter. CP3 has never won one. That alone prevents him from entering the Curry Magic conversation. Number 5, we have one John Stockton. Stockton owns 2 records that may never be broken: all-time assists and all-time steals. Those records represent incredible longevity and consistency. But he never won a championship, never won an MVP, never reached the offensive heights that Curry did. Stockton was incredibly reliable. Steph changed basketball, and that is a difference. Coming in at number 4, we have Isiah Thomas. This is where things become difficult, right? Because Isiah led one of the toughest dynasties ever. The Bad Boy Pistons defeated Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan. They won back-to-back championships during arguably the greatest era in NBA history. Unlike many legends, Isiah was unquestionably the leader. He was fearless. He was clutch. One of the greatest competitors that basketball has ever seen. But, Steph simply has more sustained greatness, more MVPs, more championships, and a far greater offensive impact. Number 3, we have Oscar Robertson. Before there was Magic, before there was LeBron, before there was Luka, the original all-around superstar, the prototype, the first player to average a triple-double over an entire season. For decades, people believed that record would have never been broken. Oscar could score, he can pass, he can rebound, control every possession. He essentially invented the modern, oversized playmaker. Without Oscar Robertson, Magic probably isn't Magic. And without Magic, LeBron probably isn't LeBron. His influence is impossible to ignore. And now you've made it to the main event, because we have number 2, Steph Curry. Here's Steph Curry's resume, right? I'm gonna read it out to you because it's crazy. 4 NBA championships, 2 MVP awards, the only unanimous MVP in NBA history, NBA Finals MVP, multiple scoring titles, all-time leader in three-pointers made, 4 Olympic gold medals, and a FIBA World Cup gold. The greatest free throw shooter ever, widely recognized as the greatest shooter in NBA history. But those accomplishments don't fully explain why he's ranked this high. Because Curry's greatness can't simply be measured by the trophies. Steph Curry changed the game of basketball more than anyone. I was gonna say almost anyone, but it's more than anyone. Michael Jordan made everyone want to play basketball. Steph Curry changed how basketball is played. Think about that. Every level of basketball, high school, college, AAU, the NBA Youth League, Every team now prioritizes spacing, three-point shooting, movement, floor stretching, deep range. If you're in the NBA today and you're not an average three-point shooter, you better be an all-time great at some other skill. You better be an all-time passer. You better be an all-time defender. You better be an all-time at something. If you're an average three-point shooter, you better be great at something else, or else you're just not gonna survive in the league. Before Curry, teams wanted dominant centers. After Curry, everyone wants shooters. He didn't just dominate basketball. He literally changed basketball strategy forever. Few players in NBA history could make that claim. And then there's something else statistics struggle to capture, right? Steph Curry might have had the greatest offensive gravity in NBA history. He gets trapped. He gets double teamed. Sometimes picked up 35 feet from the basket. 35 feet, goddamn. Entire defensive systems are built around stopping one player. That creates open shots for everyone else. Some people believe his off-ball movement is just as valuable as his shooting. The Warriors dynasty wasn't built solely because Curry made impossible shots. It was built because every defender had to know where Steph was at all times. That changed basketball. But now I gotta break your hearts. I gotta break the Steph fans' hearts. I'm sorry, I don't want to do it, but I have to. Despite everything Steph Curry accomplished, it's hard for me to say it. Despite everything he accomplished, I still give it to Magic Johnson. Magic was the complete point guard. He controlled every possession. He made teammates dramatically better. He led one of the greatest dynasties ever. 5 championships, 3 MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, 9-time first team All-NBA. He retired while still near the peak of his powers after just 13 seasons because of his stuff, leaving many to wonder what even more he could have accomplished. He did all this in 13 seasons. 13! Magic wasn't simply a point guard. He defined the position. He made showtime basketball possible. But there is a counter argument, right? If someone ranks Steph above Magic, I do completely understand. Because here's their case. Steph is a much better scorer, the greatest shooter ever, the greatest offensive weapon ever, according to many people. He changed basketball, some would say more dramatically, right? He owns the only unanimous MVP. He won championships in multiple eras. He won the championship before Kevin Durant got there and after Kevin Durant got there. And honestly, there's just no wrong answers anymore. Even Curry himself has said he believes he's the greatest point guard, while acknowledging Magic's resume, right? And so, just to round it all off, the top 5 rankings are number 1, coming in hot, Magic Johnson, the greatest traditional point guard ever, the greatest passer ever, the greatest leader of Showtime, the ultimate floor general. I put Magic number 1 because when I think of point guard, I think of Magic Johnson. Steph Curry is such a great offensive powerhouse, but when I think of point guard, traditional point guard, what the position is defined to be, I think of Magic Johnson. Number 2, you have Steph Curry, the greatest shooter ever, the greatest offensive point guard ever, one of the 5 greatest offensive players basketball has ever seen in general. He's the player who changed the sport forever. Then number 3, you have Oscar Robertson, the original do-it-all, the blueprint for modern playmaking. Number 4, Isiah Thomas, the fearless leader of the Bad Boy Pistons, one of the greatest winners in NBA history. Then you have John Stockton coming off at number 5, the longevity king, the greatest pure distributor statistically. And then number 6, let's throw him in there. Rajon Rondo, I'm kidding. Chris Paul, perhaps the smartest point guard of the modern era, right? One of basketball's greatest floor generals. And so where does Curry rank? For me, he's the 2nd greatest point guard in NBA history. But here's the fascinating part. If someone told me they had Steph number 1, I wouldn't even argue. It's like LeBron versus Jordan. You tell me LeBron is 1? Alright. You tell me Jordan is 1? Alright. Because there has never been another player who bent defenses like Steph Curry. Never another shooter who changed basketball from the driveway to the NBA Finals. Magic Johnson may still own the title of the greatest point guard ever, But Steph Curry owns something just as rare. He's the most influential point guard the game has ever seen, probably player in general. And that may ultimately be an even more lasting legacy.